everyone, Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and we're down at the 4-Wheel Drive Supercentre in Dandenong in Melbourne, and we're checking out the MT2, which is the new compact camper trailer that Kings have launched recently. I was keen to have a look at this, look at some of the clearance with the doors, because it's a much lower, smaller compact trailer. So let's get into it and have a look, guys. So as you can see here, the overall height of the trailer is basically shoulder height, and then this one they've got the rooftop tent mounted on top of it. You've got adjustable arms which for the awnings, which is a similar system to what we saw on the MT2, with the pin that you can just pull out and then adjust up and down. It's got a strut in behind there, which from this side is a little hard to see, but there is a gas strut in behind there assisting the lift up and down. And this is what I was really keen to see, was with these small doors, your typical canopy opens to about there. So if these doors only open to there, access was going to be a real problem. As you can see, they actually go all the way up, so the top portion is almost vertical, and they've designed their mounts for the awning to accommodate that. So this side is your living side of this trailer, so you've got room here for what looks like an 80-90 litre fridge freezer combo, so plenty of room there. And then you've got a small work surface that extends, so that just slides in underneath. One of the things that they've done to make everything a little bit easier to operate is, you can see here you've got the standard little thumb tabs for the slides. They've joined them up with a piece of metal that actually turns it into a whole press bar, which is just a nice touch, and it makes it that little bit easier to operate things, which is a really good idea. So compared to the MT1 that we had a look at, the kitchen area here is obviously a lot smaller. You've got a little work surface here. This would probably be ideal for one of those little single burner butane stoves, and you've got a storage area in here that would have more than enough room. That's carpeted in the base, and then the side walls are not carpeted in there. And then over here you've got a spot, this is an option, you've got a spot here for the small travel body style oven, and another little work surface that's stainless steel that comes out. So this is your whole kitchen pantry. So you've got storage in the back here with elastic straps that you can reach it from both sides, so you can have some food storage in both of those shelves. The bottom one is a little deeper than the top one. You've got space for a travel body style oven here in the front, nice and secure. That latch is certainly doing a good job. And then to assist with using that, so it's a little, okay, so this one's not actually mounted in. I suspect if you're actually installing this, you'd use one of the brackets and you bolt it down. There are holes supplied there to fix that in place. So I think because this is a display model, they haven't done that. And then you've got this small work surface here in front where you could take your food out and put it onto something that's going to be heat resistant. And then this all just slides away back into the camper. So very quick to set up and pack down. Definitely compromised compared to the MT1 in terms of work surface area. You might find yourself wanting a table, but if you were just one or two people, nice little single burner stove there, you'd be fine. So around the back, you've got your jerry can mounts either side. So you've got 40 litres there, that could be 20 litres of diesel, 20 litres of water. There is a tank on this as well, or you could carry 40 litres of extra diesel. Storage wise, you've got a compartment here on the back left. That's got your water pump in there, and it's also got an air compressor outlet as well as a gauge for your water tank as well. Readily accessible. On the right hand side, you've got a similar storage area here, and that's just an open storage area to put whatever you need in there. In the center here, you've got another storage area. This actually closes down and latches like so with compression latches. And that noise you're hearing there is magnets. To me, this is probably an area that could do with some improvement or some attention. You could definitely throw your recovery gear in there. Just access is not great because this door hinges up rather than down. Yeah, you can't really see in there without getting down quite low. That's probably a minor criticism. The fact that they've magnetised this so it stays up is a great touch. To me, this would have been really good as a drawer, similar to what they've got on the other one. Understanding that's more expensive to manufacture. So with this trailer, there's no rear access. Coming around the other side. Around here you've got another large open storage area, very similar to the MT1. So again, this space is not really configured. You've got the kitchen pantry area on the other side that sort of divides this space in half, and you've got a lot of room in here for chairs, bedding, sleeping gear, all that sort of stuff. Certainly plenty of room. And the other thing we've noticed here is that you've got these rib nuts inserted into the floor, so you could actually screw in some eyelets to retain things and strap them down. So compared to the MT2 that had the recessed anchor points in the floor, this has got mounting points, and you can put your own anchor points in later on. And last but not least, you've got the electrical side. So on the other side of this is the fridge storage, which takes up most of this front area. But here you've got the electrical panel with an optional compact AGM or lithium battery there. And that's all nice and accessible and ready to use. Got an isolation switch, all your fuses, as well as charging bays. Again, we're just noting that it probably would have been really good if this could have come out and followed the line of the trailer. Given you've got some plugs here, it would have given you a platform to charge some gear, and you would have had room to maybe put a larger battery in. Coming around to the front, you can see the main chassis is a similar size and strength to what's on the MT2. You've got dual gas bottle storage here at the front, and your tyre storage, spare tyre is here at the front as well. You've got the same DO35 hitch and the Elco jockey wheel, and this one is optioned up with the Kings hardshell tent with access from the front or the side. Access from the front here I think would be great. You would want a little step ladder or something. You know, this step up onto this platform is a big first step. So you would want like a little two-step ladder here, and look, ideally a bracket or something that sits over this tyre and gives you another step just here would be really ideal to climb up into this. But overall, this is a really compact, really functional trailer. Entry point of these is around 14-15 grand, something like that. I'm sure it'll change from time to time, so check out the website. But my question was really about the access, being a lower trailer with those canopy style doors. What was your access like? And it works really well. You can have the awning set up here, which gives you a lot of space. Those mounts look like, although they've installed it here with the awning that has the poles on it, I think you could put a freestanding awning on that mounting system quite all right. Again, it offers a lot for the price point that it's in, so I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I was keen to actually have a look at one of these in the flesh, so to speak, and pretty impressed with what I'm seeing for the price point that they're at. So I wanted to talk about the accessories and the pricing on the MT2 from 4-wheel drive Supercenter. So like a lot of display items, what you see in the display in the video and the walk around, a lot of that's not actually included. So things like the awning, the rooftop tent, the fridge, the travel buddy style oven, all those sorts of things are very much optional extras. But like the MT1, some of the things that you might expect to actually be included are also optional extras. So the $13,995 base price for the base trailer, which is current at the moment, doesn't include a few of the things that you've seen in the video that you might have thought it would. They do offer an accessory pack which adds most of those items in. What they don't tell you is how much each of the individual items are, because they have the one price and then everything else is sort of a per week price. So all the accessories together add about $10 a week currently based on the finance. So the first item that you're going to expect that's included that's not is the 75 litre pull-out fridge slide. Clearly you're going to want this. That's a bit of a no-brainer. And it does have the little extendable stainless steel bench that adds a little bit to your bench space. So that's really a no-brainer. You're definitely going to want that. Now, the trailer that I've done the walk around video on had two options on it in the kitchen side, and that's the small pantry that you can see on the screen now, which is basically a metal box with a carpet liner in the base and a fold down door that has a stainless steel surface on the back of it. Really useful, really great, could benefit from some internal shelves, but really that's customization that you could probably add yourself. The other thing that this trailer had
was the slide out pantry, which is really cool, and clearly a lot of thought and work's gone into that. It's got a space for a travel buddy style oven at the front. Again, another slide out stainless steel tray, and some shelving protected by Oki straps or similar to provide pantry space. While this is really cool and quite nifty, for my money, the most sensible option is to actually go for the large pantry option, which is a full-size box, which gives you a much larger work surface, so you could have your cooker on one side, food prep on the other, and I just mount the little travel buddy oven or similar inside the box. That's what I'd be doing. To me, this works a lot better. It just gives you so much more usable, stable bench space. That's what I would be choosing as an option. And it doesn't actually come standard with any of the option packs. It's something that you configure when you're purchasing your trailer. So I think the large pantry box is something that it's really good to know is available, and I'd definitely be looking long and hard at that as an option. It's probably, I don't know for sure, but it's probably cheaper than the slide out pantry, because it does, slide out pantry and small pantry box, because it's a lot less complex, less moving parts. The final option is some crossbars or roof bar kit. They're extruded aluminium rails and designed for assisting with mounting your rooftop tent of whatever particular persuasion you might end up going for. The vertical mounts you can see there are the awning mounts, and they are standard. They come on the base trailer. So apart from some of the accessories, let's look into some of the specs and the electrical as well as to what does and doesn't come with it. So you can see on screen there, it's got a tare weight of 980 kilos. Note that says no options fitted. So when you do fit some options, depending what they are, that tare weight's going to go up straight away. The payload is 820 kilos, which for a trailer this size, I think is pretty awesome. The aggregate trailer mass, which is like your GVM for your vehicle, is 1,800 kilos. And quite sensibly, they've listed the ball weight at 180 kilos, which is 10% of the aggregate trailer mass, which is what it's recommended to be, and they've listed that at the ATM, or the aggregate trailer mass. So that is the most amount of downforce you can expect on your tow ball, something you can take into account when you're looking at the GVM capacity of your vehicle. As you can see there, the trailer with no tent on it is just shy of 1.6 metres high and just shy of 2 metres high, with the awning poles extended. Lengthwise, it's just shy of 3.6 metres, and it has a really good departure angle of 34 degrees. And widthwise, it is 1.88 metres wide. So getting on to some of those specifications that I mentioned, again, obviously the display one that you saw had a lot of electrical items included. The base trailer does come with a battery, which is cool that it comes with a battery already, and that's a 98 amp hour deep cycle AGM battery. So a lithium or something else is an optional upgrade. It does come with the 12 volt control panel, and it does come with lighting, and it also comes with a 7-pin flat trailer plug as standard. Electrical wise, what's not included that you're probably going to want is a DC to DC charger. That does come in the Touring Adventure and the Quickie pack, which are different upgrade options for this trailer. There's no inverter included, which you may or may not want, and there's no solar power or solar panel or mounting brackets included as standard either. And they're things that you may want to add to the vehicle. Obviously, you can add those yourselves, and that's one of the advantages of these trailers. They come in a base spec, and you can choose to add things from the factory, or you can add them yourself later on using whatever brand supplies you want to add. Important to cover off as well, I thought, was the suspension and tyres. So it does come with twin shock independent coil sprung suspension. The shocks are Oztec Outback Series 63mm shock absorbers I don't know anything about them, so I can't comment whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. But there's 2 of them per wheel. The tyres are the imported Good Ride tyres. They're a 265/75 R16 mud terrain on a 16x8 0mm offset standard steel rim, which is a 6x139.7mm PCD. So that 6 stud pattern is pretty common. So let's talk about my final thoughts on this trailer. So what are my final thoughts on the MT2 from 4Drive Supercentre? I think it's like the MT1, pretty well made. There's some good options for configuration on the kitchen side. The bulk storage in the other side is adequate if there's only 1 or 2 of you. More than that, I think you want to probably look at the MT1 or some other camper trailer that has a little bit more storage space. I like that it comes in a base configuration that you can then add things to as you see fit. And generally, I think it's pretty well resolved. I think the slide-out pantry, as I mentioned, is really cool, but I think you're better off having the larger pantry with the fold-down door. One thing that, probably 2 things that I sort of mentioned during the video that aren't as well resolved perhaps as they should be is that access to that rear storage area that's down below the canopy area. With the fold-up door, even though that's magnetized, it's really hard to see in there. It's really hard to access. It's down quite low. I can't really think of anything other than probably maybe tools or recovery gear that you might stash in there. It's not going to be stuff that you want to access regularly, but you know, that's not a huge deal. The other area that is not that really well resolved is the tent access. So if you put a clamshell tent on it, similar to the Kings Grand Tourer that's shown in all the still photos and the footage that we took, logically you're probably going to mount that forward opening the way they did. You could mount it rear opening and run the ladder down between the jerry cans, but then if you've got a 270 awning on there, that doesn't really work. So you're probably going to mount it forward opening, in which case the ideal access from the drawbar area of the trailer just really is non-existent. So some sort of a bracket that sits over the top of the tyre would be an option. You could just carry with you like a little fold-up step ladder or something to get up onto the drawbar itself. There's already a plate there to stand on, but to get from there up into the tent, it's a bit of a scramble the way it is standard from factory. So that's probably one criticism. Obviously, you could put the ladder on the other side where your 270 awning is not going to be. What that's going to mean, though, is every time you want to access the storage area there, you're going to have to take the ladder down, because when that door folds up on the other side for your bulk storage, the ladder's going to be in the way. So that's probably the only real criticism. At 14 grand from the starting point, coming with a 98 amp hour AGM, it's a great setup to get you started, and definitely at the affordable end of the market. I think it compares really well to some other affordable trailers on the market. One I'm thinking of there is the MDC Modbox camper trailer. I mentioned that because there's not many other trailers in the sub 15k price bracket. The Modbox was a great concept, I thought, at the time when it launched. I don't think MDC is still doing that, and I think the reason maybe it didn't do really well in the market is that it was just a little bit too de-featured, but obviously that's what they needed to do to get it down to that price. So, look, in summary, I guess what I'm saying is for 1 or 2 people, for a compact trailer that's going to go just about anywhere you want it to go, I think the MT2 is a pretty good option. As I said, Matt and I both had a good look over it. The build quality is certainly very good for what you're paying. We didn't see anything that we looked at and went, oh, looks like they've taken a really cheap solution there. It all seemed really solid, and definitely worth looking into if you're in that entry level end of the market. So look, I hope this has been helpful, guys. And if you've got any questions about the MT2, drop them in the comments down below.
Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, leave them down below. And look forward to catching you in the next video. Thanks.